as well as the National Academic Bee, formerly the U.S. Academic Bee, but now we've standardized the nationalness of all our competitions, or almost, with the U.S. Geography Championships. Yes, being an exception to that. Anyway, welcome to the final match for JV. We have Pranav Krishna, Max, Audrey, Shona, and Krish joining us to play. So congratulations to all of you on making the finals. I hope you enjoyed playing the set so far. And I will, as soon as I get it, read the final packet. Again, we're playing playoff rules. We know the scoring system by now. And out of 40, tomorrow in History Bee, it will be out of 50 in both semis and finals, because I think we're playing, especially in JV, 10 in the room. So, and the rounds tomorrow in the semis and finals in History Bee, just so you know, have 45 questions. So they're dagger rounds with 10 players and 45 questions.
But
But
there are also 10 players in finals for History Bee?
I believe so, yeah, in the JV, yeah. The reason for that, it just, you know, while I paid for the packet, we've traditionally done 3 rounds of playoffs at Nationals in the History Bee with quarters, semis, and finals, but from a logistical perspective, going from quarters to semis to finals is difficult, and effectively we can take 50 up to 50 players if we do just semis and finals, and so we made a decision that we would lengthen the rounds, take 10 players, and like
Top 2
yeah, and then top 2 wins. Yes, so that's how I think it. But don't quote me on that just yet, because I'm not 100% certain it's top 50. It might be, I think it's that, but check it out. In any event, here there are 6 of you, and out of 40, as usual, Michael, can you slap me?
Yeah, I will do that on this.
Okay. Since we're all here, I'm getting signals. I don't think that's the issue. Again, tomorrow, bright and early, with the History Bee. Last of the exams. Still sign up for Women's History in particular. But otherwise, we will announce whatever remaining exams we need to announce either during the draft or before the varsity final playoff match. And of course, everybody who's playing in the junior varsity bowl is welcome to watch the varsity match, because during that match there is no JV. I'm giving you 1 minute. Okay. I was going to say, I've got a copy of this packet that I found pass edited a few days ago, so yeah. Refresh. With me on my left is Michael Barecki, originally Darien, Connecticut, down in New York City. And might be the last name? Phillips, that's right. Like Charles or Chaz?
Either is fine.
Either is fine.
Yeah.
Where are you hanging out?
I'm from St. Petersburg, Florida.
Okay.
I go to Florida State University, Tallahassee.
Excellent. All right. Finals packet. Good luck, everybody. It says in my inbox, and it says these words on toss-up number 1. Good luck. Toss-up. This substance, originally developed to help solidify mud, is a polymorph of a common compound that melts at a temperature 45 degrees higher than that compound. This substance was invented by Dr. Felix Honecker and was used.
Einstein.
Yeah, 5 points. That's great. Toss-up 2. The main reagent used in this test is iodine in the presence of a base, typically sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. The positive result of this test is indicated by the appearance of a bright yellow precipitate. This test is specific for compounds containing the CH3CO group, commonly found in methyl ketones like acetone and certain secondary alcohols. For the points, name this chemical test used to detect the presence of methyl ketones or compounds that can be oxidized to methyl ketones. I've never heard of it either. This is the iodoform test. We also would have accepted the haloform reaction. Awesome. 3. This artist showed St. Francis on the right and an armored figure, perhaps St. George on the left, with Madonna on the throne in the center in his Casta Franco Madonna. In an early landscape painted by this artist, the soldier holds a tall staff on the left and looks in the direction of a gypsy rescuing a baby. Titian likely copied this artist's painting of a nude woman lying against a rock. Points, named this Venetian artist of the Tempest and Sleeping Venus. Time, I've heard of them, but don't know really anything about them. This is Giorgione. Toss of 4. In 2020, researchers confirmed the composition of this substance using the Sunyaev-Zelkovich effect and observations of localized plastic radiobursts. This substance was first indirectly observed by detecting absorbed X-rays from rapidly growing supermassive black holes. This substance is considered the most likely solution to the missing baryon problem, and it is described as no, thing 2. And it is described as warm hot and consists of filamentous threads of plasma. For the points, name the substance that, like dark energy, no, 2, occupies the space between the Milky Way and Andromeda. Time? No. Intergalactic medium. So, between the Milky Way and Andromeda. All right, toss and 5. Someone's getting this. This empire regaled its guests with 40 columns pavilion, which, like the Alpi Palace, was heard many frescoes such as depictions of the Battle of Copper Alpha and the defeat to Selene the Grim in the Battle of Chalmers. 6. Toss 6. Metal ammonia complexes that exemplify this type of covalent bond where the lone pair of electrons on ammonia serves as the Lewis base, forming a stable complex with a metal cation. The formation of this type of covalent bond is often represented by an arrow pointing from the donor atom to the acceptor atom, indicating the direction of electron donation. Good points. Name this type of covalent bond where both electrons come from one atom to form a shared pair with another atom. Double bond? No, might name one. Time, this is the coordinate bond. I also could have accepted for the covalent bond, or dative bond, or dipolar bond. Awesome. 7. This term is notoriously referred to as film criticism's grand undefined term. The definition of this term includes elements such as makeup and lighting placement, and this term can describe part of what gives the stage or screen director's work its signature aesthetic. The cabinet of Dr. Caligari's expressionistic approach exemplifies this term, which encompasses blocking and set design. For the points, identify this French named term for everything in front of the audience or camera, literally put in the scene.
Mise en scène.
It's good for 3 points. Yes, mise en scène. Close enough with the pronunciation. Toss 8. This author's pen names included Pierre Andrezel and Osceola. This author was encouraged by actress Mary Beth Westinghouse, the first woman to ever speak in the full routine. 2 works by this author, 7 Gothic tales, were adapted into Oscar-winning films, including Babette's Feast.
Denison?
I can take that or Blixen, either is fine for 5 points. Toss of 9. A campaign to save this building from demolition failed in its attempts to also save the neighboring Lincoln Trust building. Brown sandstone transitions to brick, like the second floor of this building, often cited as an early example of the skyscraper. The architect of this building claimed it was built for a utilitarian need, exemplifying his notion that form follows function. For the point, named as St. Louis building. Good for 4. Cost of 10. That was fortunate. The rate of this process, due to natural causes, can be estimated with the Chakravarti formula. In average areas, this process can be measured using the chloride mass balance method. Increased runoff and decreases in this process are caused by building impervious surfaces such as asphalt and pavement. No, me too. Such as asphalt and pavement. This process is sometimes considered to be the flux of the water table level through the points in this process by which groundwater and aquifers refill. Times called groundwater recharge. Also is accepted deep drainage or deep percolation.
Scorched, Pranav at -2, Houghton at 6, Max at -3, Patrick at 7, Shunak at 8, and Krish at 0.
Toss 11. He's not AA known, but this man created his most famous characters to amuse his son Christopher, who was suffering from measles. One locale created by this author has a native language called Sudric, which is inspired by Manx and contains Rolf's Castle and the town of Skaraborg. The Railway series detailed adventures on the island of Sodor, created by Points, what reverend and author who popularized characters such as the Fat Controller and Thomas the Tank Engine. Times. This is Wilbert Vera Aubrey. Yeah, toss 12. This man stopped clashes with the government while serving as Captain General during Francisco Ferrer's execution. On the death of Prime Minister Antonio Carlos de Castillo, this man was replaced by Ramon Blanco y Peñas, and he granted the right to live in Malolos to go to the night school as Governor General of the Philippines, known for a reconcentrado.
Wait.
Yeah, for 5 points, Richard Weiler. 13. This scientist attempted to deduce the fine structure constant using the number of protons in the observable universe. This scientist determined the point at which radiation pressure would overcome gravity and rip a star apart, the limit of a star's luminosity. This scientist. Yeah, that's for 5. Okay, plus 14. One book by this author asks, why then are we not all socialists? And another one discusses the author's experience of kitchen work in France. This author, The Road to Wigan Pier and Down and Out in Paris and London, also taught in the Spanish Civil War. Yeah, 5. Read Down and Out in Paris and London. It is a short and great book. Toss 15. This group was explicitly not exempt from the Gabelle salt tax and the Corvée Royale, and it included the Vian. Avec Siet wrote a pamphlet asking what is this entity? 5. Jones 5. Okay. Toss 16. These particles were indirectly observed by Young-Soo Tsai and Martin Lewis Pearl using the Stanford Linear Accelerator Center's sphere collision ring. Due to their high mass and short lifespan, these particles do not generally form observable Wavestahl radiation. These particles are a more massive example of fifth generation leptons, and are the only leptons mass enough to decay.
You want?
No, maybe 2. Yeah, we can take that. And that's for 5. Toss 17. Or just tau, but tau is acceptable. 17. Oof. During one expedition in East Africa, this man compared his Swahili porters to human camels and shot several of them dead. This man is the first European to scale Mount Kenya, and his most notable idea divided the Earth into the world island and the outlying islands, and posited that control of Central Eurasia was key to world dominance. For the points, name this British geographer whose article, The Geographic Pivot of History, introduced Hartland theory. Time. I thought I told them to save that for like the final round in Vienna. This is Halford Mackinder. Toss 18. Square check fine. This author of Claude François worked with the Jardin des Plantes as a botanist. This man, who coined the word invertebrates, was the first to separately classify arachnids and insects. He's not Darwin, but this man's evolution theory is remembered for his use and his use model, as well as a concept. Yeah, 55 of 19. Marguerite Long revised the score of this piece by adding metronome markings to movements such as a G major minuet, which succeeds a reggaeton. This piece's composer stated, "The dead are sad." 6 points in this bus. Toss of 20 in score check. This tributary of the Occoquan was the site of the battle which ended with Irvin McDowell's men frantically retreating towards One Capital City. The Schofield report found that the loss near this river, which had been blamed on Fitzjohn Porter, was actually the responsibility of John Pope. That loss of this site opened up the Maryland campaign, which eventually resulted in the Battle of Antietam. The points identified this Virginia River, which hosted 2 major battles. Thank you for points.
Score check, I have Pranov at 3, I have Houghton at 16, I have Max at 3, I have Patrick at 22, Schumacher at 8, and Chris not scoring.
Okay, all right. Good luck as we move to 21. In Wallace or data trees, a gate representing this function is used to multiply bits of the 2 numbers. A gate representing this function calculates the overflow carry value in a half-adder circuit, while the sum is circulated by an XOR gate. Using De Morgan's laws, one can attain this function in a circuit by negating every input to an OR gate. In C-like languages, 2 ampersands represent the points. And good for 4. Toss 22. In one story, this man was the descendant of Dascylus, who became king because the cursed artist placed on his own son. According to Herodotus, this man bribed an oracle with gold mixing bowls to convince his nation to follow him to war against the Ionians. This man was originally a shepherd who used a magical artifact to kill King Condolis and marry his widow. The most famous account of this man is the thought experiment about whether a man who could turn invisible would continue to act justly. For the points, the semi-legendary king of Lydia, whose magical ring is described. Yes, for 4. Good toss. 23. One artist from this school depicted a red sun setting beside an active volcano in Cotopaxi.
That's number
6, yeah. Toss 24. What a good toss. This no longer extant organization was created with the help of John Constant and Thomaston Vale, and its members were made salaried by Samson Wright. Blind Beat John Fielding led this formal organization along with his brother Henry Fielding, and members of this group were similar to the Thief Takers. This organization stopped the Despard plot against George III by arresting Colonel Edward Despard. For the points, identified this organization whose officers patrolled streets as the first professional.
The London Police Force?
No, -2, London Police Force. Time, this is the Bow Street Runners. Toss of 25. Particles released in this type of decay have low penetration power due to their relatively large mass and positive charge, so low that this type of decay can be stopped by a sheet of paper or human skin.
Aqua?
6. Quick score check.
Pranov at 1, Houghton at 20, Max at 7, Patrick at 34, Schumacher at 8, and Christian's now.
Patrick, potentially just one question away. Toss up 26. The extremely deep cave Abismo Gaia Colette is located within one of these features in Barcelos. The film Up took inspiration. 6 points, I suppose. Toss of 27. This book ends with a star spirit being instructed to fly behind the sunset and sing to humanity, which is so calming and ends all wars. This book's title creature defeats the space bat angel dragon in a fire contest by tricking it into flying to the sun. This book describes the capture of the title creature from eating farm equipment before he is rescued by Hogarth. The points named this Ted Hughes children's book that inspired a Brad Bird movie about a large bell robot.
E.T.
No, they won.
The Iron Giant.
I can take that for free. Yeah, or the Iron Man. Either's fine. 28.
Actually, yeah, 30.
In this present-day country, the U.S.-educated preacher John Chilembwe led a suppressed rebellion against colonial rule under the presidency of Bingu wa Mutharika. This country briefly changed its flag to feature a white sun. This country, 6 points, I suppose. Okay. Toss 29. Jaime Falke and Luciano Rezzola argued that these phenomena originate from a hypothetical type of neutron star that collapses into a black hole called a blitzar. A type of these phenomena called peritons were found to actually be caused by prematurely opening microwave ovens. These phenomena were first detected by Duncan Warburg using archival data from the Parkes Observatory. The point being these poorly understood phenomena that consist of rapid pulses of long-wave electromagnetic radiation. Time. Just call it. This is a fast radio burst. Pause 30 on the score check. The words "pain is truth" served as a creed for a torturer in a work of this title, which sees the empire declare a state of emergency against the central group. In a poem of this name, the central people are called a kind of solution. Yeah, good for 5 points.
Score check, I have Pranav at 13, Houghton at 20, Max at 13, Patrick at 33, Shinnok at 11, Krish is not on board.
I have Max at 12, so we can set that.
Max at 12.
So we just got 5, right?
You just got 5.
Okay, you got 5, okay.
Yeah.
That's, I thought I for some reason, okay, 6, okay. Max at 12.
5, 35 and 9. Okay. All right, toss 31. Okay, I need something specific here, okay? Don't just give me a descriptive answer. I may prompt you, but I won't end up taking it, okay? Toss 31. The new rockets developed by this organization are mainly launched from the Uchimura facility. This organization also created the Kibo model of the ISS. This organization launched its first vessel in 1970, making its country the first non-Western nation to launch a spacecraft. Hayabusa was made by this organization, which landed the slim lunar module on the moon in 2024, using radio telescopes made by Mitsubishi Electric. Say it again? Prompt.
Yes.
No, -2. For the points, name the space agency based in Tokyo. Time, yeah, it specifically says on the page prompt on Japanese Space Agency for similar answers, it's called JAXA, or the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Possibly 32. A ruler of this first name was thrown off the column of Theodosius after leading an attack at Tikhotos Lithos. A ruler of this name was strangled after his people tried to proclaim Nicholas Commodus as ruler, while another ruler of this name was captured by Boniface of Montferrat during the Fourth Crusade. The Comnenian Restoration began under a ruler that this name is. Yes, for 5. Okay, 33. Supported by Philip Armour and Henry Adams, this movement was aided by the Edgefield Real Estate Association. As a result of this movement, the settlement of Nicodemus grew, and John St. John created a relief organization. Benjamin Pack Singleton helped organize this event, for which failed bills were introduced by John Ingalls and James Garfield. A Black Moses led this event, in which migrants traveled to Wyandotte. For the point, name this movement of African -2, the movement of African Americans who migrated to Kansas in 1860.
Exodus.
Good for 4. 34, 2 to play. You can do the math. In one work by this philosopher, the narrator passes through the gates of night and day and is taken in a chariot to see an unnamed gods. In a dialogue by Plato, this philosopher proposed the third man argument against the theory of forms. This philosopher distinguished between the way of truth and the way of opinion in an fragmentary poem commonly called On Nature. The point is, he's contemporary of Socrates, the founder of the Eleatic school. Good for 3. It's for 2nd. As we hit 35, This document was criticized by John Jameson and led to comments from William Herndon, who called it political suicide. This document had 8 points. The first on the Treaty of 1819, the last about General Zachary Taylor, who claimed no such movement was necessary to the defense or protection of Texas, issued by a Whig after the Thornton
Box resolution.
-2. The Thornton affair, this is for the point of what set of resolutions that asked to identify the site.
Spawn resolution.
That is correct for 4 points. And with that, Lawton secures second place, but your national champion is Butler Fine. Congratulations! No ties to break, just a final cross check.
Paramount at 11, Houghton at 24, Max at 20, Patrick at 33, Shinnok at 13, and Fish at -2.
All right, congratulations. Hey, great match. And a very long day, but a great day, I think. So, let's see here. Sixth place in the National Academic Bee to Chris. Congratulations, great job. Finals. Fifth place today to Ron Krishna. All right, congratulations. Fourth place today to Jonathan Wale. Congratulations. Third place today to Maxton Lynn. Congratulations. Also national champion in the small school national district ball. Second place today, Rob Neville. Congratulations. And your national champion, Carter Glenn. All right. It's a wrap. One more day to go at Nationals. Get some rest. We'll see you.